Hey YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. My name is JP Graves. So, same trend, just because I really enjoy doing videos like this, and hopefully you guys do too. But, today I wanted to talk about a few things. Number one, how do you find an editor? How do you find cover art designers? How do you find programs that'll help you? And how do you, make sure that you're getting quality for the money you're going to be paying? So first off, I wanted to just say, you need somebody to read your book who kind of understands how plot is built, but you don't necessarily need an editor. Alright? So what do I mean by that? Well, there are different types of editors and publishing houses. So you have traditional. I've gone over those in previous videos. If you want to go listen to those, cool. The gist is you're going to get paid up front, and then you're not going to see anything for your book for quite a while. And once the publishing house recuperates what they gave you up front, that's when you'll actually get to see some royalties from your book, and they're going to provide you with an editor and all this other stuff. The big thing is, with the traditional publishing house, Penguin, so on and so forth, you're not going to really pay anything because they're interested in getting your book out there so that they can make money as well. So if, once again, any publisher ever contacts you and is like, oh, well, we work for Penguin, or we work for, I'm blanking on the other big 5 publishers right now, but just give us like $700 and we're going to publish your book and you're going to get a, no, stop. That's probably a scam. Then you have hybrid publishing, which is what my company does, right? So we do editing as far as grammar and spelling and all that jazz, but we also do developmental editing. Developmental editing as well. What that means is we're going to analyze your book for plot, sentence structure, different things like that. But the reason I say you don't necessarily need an editor is there's no okay, you have to do all this schooling to become an editor. Now, if you have an English degree, obviously that's going to make it significantly easier. But there are thousands of hours of free online lectures, Udemy courses, OpenLearn courses, you name it, the information's out there. And also there are a ton of programs to assist you with editing your own work. Now, what I said in the beginning is you need somebody to read your book, right? And that's usually where pre-publication reads come in, right? You should send out 10, 15 copies, depending on what your target is for sales, and get everybody's opinion, and maybe they'll point something out. But that's not going to cover all the bases. You need another author. You need somebody who's done editing. You need somebody who understands story structure to read your book and give you that honest feedback. That, unfettered, honest, hey, this is working, hey, this isn't, hey, you need to look at this sentence structure, hey, although this works, this is a really passive sentence, you might want to revisit this. Or this paragraph is terrible. The first editor that I used for Crimes of an Empire, she did that, but there was no feedback, right? It was just straight, hey, delete these 2 chapters. And that was it. And, Crimes was 45,000-ish words. I think it was less when I sent it to her, and I paid $700. It was like 0.016 cents per word, and I thought I was getting, a really solid person, because that was on the more expensive side of the editors I was looking at. Even taking, okay, I rewrote those chapters, hey, were you willing to take a second look? No, that's going to be another $700+. I just didn't have the money. So I had to learn how to do that stuff myself, and learn how to do the nitty-gritty stuff, and read what story structure is, and how to formulate chapters, and just how to do all this stuff. And you can do that too. It takes time. It took me months And I'm still learning to this day. I am still trying to take courses and classes and different things like that. But at the end of the day, if you want to teach yourself the stuff, what I'm saying is it's not impossible. I know there are some editors out there that just think they're God's gift to creation because they have a bachelor's in English, and I'm not discrediting that. That's cool. You know what? That is a testament to your dedication that you wanted to learn this craft and this skill. I'm not discrediting university or college or anything like that. Please don't think I am. It's just I try to be a reasonably humble person, especially when it comes to writing. You know, I try not to judge anybody's work too hard, and I try not to judge anybody in this profession too harshly at all. And you know, that's just kind of where I stand. And there's been a few editors that I've talked to that just think that they're above anybody else because they've done X number of books or they have X degree. And I don't like that vibe from people, I guess. I'm not trying to discredit or discount anything. Me personally, I don't like that vibe. So how do you find these people if you're new, and you want to go self-publishing? I would go with Reedsy. Reedsy seems pretty legit. Also, you have Reedsy Discovery, so it's almost a one-stop shop. It's a social media platform for authors. You can find editors there. You can find book cover creators there. You can find people to review your book. And, you know, I just kind of like Reedsy. Another place other people have had success with, and I had like moderate success with, was Fiverr. That editor that I talked about earlier, that's where I found her. And then I ended up paying 3 different people for a cover design for Crimes. The one that is on the book was not my ideal, but at the end of the day, none of us have unlimited financial resources, and I had already spent well over budget on this book, and that's even taking as many cost-saving measures as I could. But that's also why I learned to design book covers and how that works out, and different things like that, which is why I designed the book cover for my second book. Is it perfect? No. Not by any means. But still learning every day. So you can go on those sites and you can find, you know, these people. How to spot a good editor, that's something you're going to have to read. Everybody has their own method, and I don't want to put thoughts in your head and then you select an editor based off my methods that I've used in the past. And at the end of the day, it's really whether or not you kind of click with the person, right? Are they going to click with your story, and are you going to click with them as on a personal level? Because if somebody's reading your book and you're not familiar with your genre, your style, or how you want to do things, they might try to make it a little too generic, right? Take it back to, you know, well, you're writing a fantasy, so this should be a hero's journey book, and this isn't. Well, not every book needs to follow those plot threads. Yeah, they're popular for a reason, but sometimes you need to break that mold. And it's usually the people that break that mold that, you know, have fairly successful careers, at least in my opinion. But those are probably 2 of your best sites. And you can find other sites. I only vouch for those 2 because I've used them, and I don't want to lead anybody astray. If you do a quick Google search, be wary. Be very wary. You're going to search on Google editor, and you're going to find a bunch of scammy stuff. But if you see Twisted Tree Publishing, that Google search, please know we are a legitimate site. We are here to help authors. We are here to be as low cost as physically possible to just meet our absolute bottom line expenditures per year. And we are here to help as much as physically possible. Especially if you're a new author. I'm not here for people's money. I'm here to be essentially your partner in your journey and try to get you to a point where you don't need us anymore, and kind of show you some of the tools that I use, because I'm not using an editor anymore. I will use other people to read my book, but as far as paying somebody to legitimately edit my book, we paid somebody for In Darkest Dreams, Shout out to our friend that did that, because she has an English degree and she did a fantastic job. But my wife and I, we edited that book from a structural standpoint, and she had very little feedback. There were a few things that she did catch, but once again, everything's a learning experience, and I'm glad that she caught those few things. But overall, we made the assessment that we are, we sent it to somebody who does this kind of stuff, and she had very, very little feedback, so we're fairly comfortable to do our own books, and that's kind of where I want to get other authors and other self-published authors, just because we all know how much money this costs, and if you don't, be prepared. Be prepared. Like I said, my first book was less than 50,000 words. I still sunk like $1,200 into the thing to just get it up and running. And then you have advertisement costs and everything else, and that just eats and eats and eats and eats. And your first book, nobody can promise success. There are a few people out there that are like, oh, my first book, I got signed by a publisher and I made $15,000 to $50,000, and I'm very, very happy about that. That's a rarity. That is a huge rarity. So cover art designers too. Look up local artists, right? There are local artists everywhere. The reason I didn't do it for my first book is because I wasn't in an area that had many. So I kind of my arm was twisted into using Fiverr because I did look and I just didn't find anybody that really fit what I was looking for. And in my second book, Dreams, the reason I designed that cover and didn't go with somebody was more, I kind of got, I had to pinch pennies a little bit, I guess you could say. If that sounds bad, I'm sorry. But we only have so much financial resources at our disposal, and to each their own. But there are plenty of local artists. I ran into this guy. He does amazing artwork, and I loved everything that was on his table. I ran into him at a vendor's fair. Go to your local art vendor's fairs. There's usually tons of artists there, and connect with one of them that really fits your style and your vision for the book. And I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed, because you're going to be able to see in person what they're able to do and what they're able to produce for you. The guy I was talking about was Matthew G. Lewis. He has a website called lostkeep.com. Super awesome artwork. If you like dark art that's just almost like Lovecraftian almost with some of it, but it's just such a wide range of different, more macabre artwork that I am just absolutely in love with. There's one on here specifically that I love, and it looks amazing and super dark and twisted. But sorry, went off on the tangent there, but that's kind of the point of these videos. Podcast Light by JP Graves. But if you're interested in that kind of artwork, 100% check out his stuff. He doesn't know I'm putting him in this video because this platform is dismally small. So I doubt anybody's even watching to this part of the video. Like I said, I do this for more me and my mental health and just trying to be helpful than anything else, referring to monetization. But wanted to give a shout out to him because his stuff is absolutely fantastic. Another resource that you can kind of look, like I said, Reezy. I can't speak to Reezy's cover artist. I can't. Once again, though, if you want to do it for free, so there are different types of cover art, right? You have digital, to where people take like stock images and they collage them together, and boom, bada bing, now you have a book cover. Those are more low cost. You can also get like hand-drawn stuff, which is what I was referring to when I was talking about, Lost Keep and Mr. Lewis's stuff, right? that's going to be naturally more expensive. But what should happen if you're hiring an artist for a book cover is, kind of what I discussed with him and some other artists, that you send them like a blurb of your vision and they send back some artwork, like 5 pieces, like really, really rough stuff. And then, you go, I like these 3, and then send back, what you'd like to do with these 3, and they kind of work on them a little bit more, and then you narrow it down to 2, to 1, so on and so forth, and then you get the final product. I have known a few people that they hired an actual artist, and the artist created a book cover for them by hand or by drawing on digital art, and it wasn't what they intended, but they had already paid the artist, and then the artist kind of ghosted them. So be aware that's out there. I wouldn't put that under the grifter, because you did get a piece of art. It just, they didn't work with you on it. So that's, you don't have to watch out for it, but just err on the side of caution and make sure you know what that artist's process is prior to discussing, terms of payment. That's what I would say. But 100%, remember, if you're a self-published author, you are a small business, right? And the only people that support small businesses are small businesses. We're all in this together, all right? It's not me as an author versus you as an author, or that artist versus that artist, or anything like that. We are all in this together, as cheesy as that sounds. Like I said, my buddy DB McAteer, I always say DB. Sorry, McAteer. BD McAteer. I will always sing his book, Lightbringer to the Sky and the Heavens. If you like grimdark, highly suggested. It was probably one of the best fantasy grimdarks, original idea fantasy grimdarks I've read. Universe is super, super cool, very, very unique as well. Like, I haven't read a whole lot of grimdark and a whole lot of fantasy, but I'm fairly familiar with, D&D, Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar stuff, and the just monstrous amount of books that come with all of that. Fairly familiar, obviously, with Tolkien. Everybody is familiar with Tolkien. He pretty much set the precedence for a lot of fantasy tropes moving forward. There's a few other authors, I just can't think of their names. His is definitely unique compared to theirs in a very, very good way. It was a very refreshing read after reading quite a bit of fantasy and grimdark stuff. So that's just kind of the things I was thinking about this week, things I wanted to talk about, trying to get the thoughts out of my head so I can actually write. Once again, that's one of the reasons I'm doing videos like this, is because I'm terrible at writing scripts. I like to talk and rant and just kind of go over things. If you're a YouTuber and you make scripts for your YouTube videos, hats off to you. I don't know how you guys do it. I've tried, and then how you guys fill that 20-minute video, 10-minute video with images and relevant stuff, I don't understand. That is not my creative outlet. My creative outlet is writing, and that's what I want to do. But, I also said I want to be helpful, and I want to try to, if you're thinking about writing a book, I want to try to be helpful. If you got to this part of the video, thank you for watching the whole thing. Really, really do appreciate it, because I do track my YouTube metrics every now and then, and it is a little disheartening sometimes when you see that only, like 1% of people actually watch 10 minutes of the 20-minute video. But thank you if you did make it this far. Also, if you want to check out more of the stuff that I make, you can always look on TikTok for author JP Graves, or on Facebook, although I don't post on Facebook nearly as much as I should. Mostly because I don't want to overload and overwhelm the few friends that I have under my JP Graves profile. But that's all I had for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a fantastic rest of your weekend, because this is getting posted on a Sunday. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. And if you're an author and you're writing something, I hope you have all the success in the world, and I hope you get to write 10,000 words of the greatest book that's ever been written this week. But But I'll talk to you guys next week with another rant and hopefully some more information that isn't out in the regular world.